Top of the morning to everybody, although it is kind of late in the afternoon here. Okay, today I've been tasked with creating a billboard. And what a billboard is it's a 10-second little blurb that says, this program or this show was sponsored by Sunrise Auto Sales or Thomas & Mack or Cox Pavilion or whatever. For the billboards, we kind of have some templates. We have a show look or a particular style that we use. We call them expressions. And the way they work is they have the brackets and a background and certain fonts and everything that we have to use in particular. Now, normally when I do these, they're 10 seconds long. I just grab it, stick it in a new project, and put a logo in there, and then change some of the information. Today, however, we're going to do something a little bit different. So first I will create a new project, and let's give it a name. We'll call it Mariachi Festival Billboard 2014 1.0. Okay, and over here in my generators, I've created a bunch of templates. If I've synced it recently, then 3 of the computers should at least have these templates in there. And so you'll be able to grab them. If I haven't synced it, or if you're working on a computer that doesn't have these templates, then you won't have them. But some of the basic concepts are the same. I'm going to grab this Splash one. This is the one that I chose to use for this particular one. And all I do is I grab the generator and I drop it over here. Okay. Now, if I click on the generator and I click up here on generator in my inspector, I can see all the different little things that I've added to this. I've got a drop zone. This is where I will choose what goes in the gray area. The size and the offset will affect the text here. The pan and the scale will affect the drop zone. And then I've got crops in case I need to take something off of what's in the drop zone. I have a drop shadow that can be turned on and off. And the different things for the drop shadow. The purpose of the drop shadow is to lift it away from the background, and it has to do with the logo. Okay, so let's go ahead and do one first. Now there's 2 ways of doing this. I can actually grab this and drop it over into the inspector, but you'll notice as soon as I hover over this, the inspector disappears. It's kind of an annoyance, and it doesn't come back. So if I'm to do that, I have to click on it, grab it quickly, and drop it in there, and then it'll show up. So most of the time I don't do it that way because sometimes it doesn't act fast enough. Instead, if I click here, it shows me the different little things that I can select. So let's select Thomas & Mack, and we'll just hit this apply clip, and here we go. We have the logo. Now if I click back on my generator, I can adjust the scale of this to fit it however I want. Okay, so a lot of these things are adjustable. The text is changeable, as you can see. The patrocinado por and the patrocinado in the background, those are not changeable. Those are part of the template. And all the colors and everything are not changeable either. Well, they are through filters, but I prefer not to because we need to keep our certain styles. Okay, in this case, though, I'm not going to be using a logo. I'm going to be using a video. And the video I have is this one here, and I've already selected the endpoint. Okay, now we're going to run into a little issue with this. The reason is, from the endpoint to the end is only about 1 second long. So if I click here on my generator and I choose this source clip and I select this as my source clip and I hit apply, it will put it in. I need to change my scale here. It will put it in, but it will do, there's going to be a problem. This is what it'll look like. Okay, it shows up, looks great, and then it goes to black. And the reason is because my source clip is only 2 seconds long. No, it's not even. It's like a second and a half long. Okay, so that's one way of trying to do it, and that doesn't work. If I were to take this down here, and let's turn the audio on. If I were to take it down here and make it longer by slowing it down, I'm going to try to pop it in now. So I click here, and I click on this clip in the project, and I apply the clip, and look what happens. It starts in black. The reason it does that is because this clip, the starting time code is 10 seconds in. So unless this clip lines up with the time code of this one, it's not going to work. So let's try that. Let's drop it down here. And let's just shrink it back just a bit. Okay, so let's do this. Click on it here, and it filled it in. So we apply the clip, and watch what happens. Okay, we have one more issue. It does work and it does show up, but this does not animate. It's a still frame. Okay? So we need to do something completely different in order to make it animate. Otherwise, it's just a logo. What I'm going to do is right click, and I'm going to create a new compound clip. And we will just leave it just like this, no big deal. Hit OK. And the compound clip is here. Okay, I'm going to erase this compound clip from here, and it's right here. If I double click this, I will see this billboard here, and it will last 10 seconds animated. And that's exactly what I want. So let's go back into the project. And this time, I'm going to select my drop zone, and I will click on the compound clip and apply it. And watch what happens. It's animated, and that is exactly what I want. So the way to make that video fall in there is to use a compound clip. Now you notice it stops after a little bit, but that's because the original video stops after a little bit as well. All right. Okay, so all we need is the voice, which is right here. And let's bring it down to -5. Stick it in here. Now normally, I'm going to mention this, usually when I'm editing, I will put my audio into my storyline area, and I will put my video above it or below it or wherever I need. This time I didn't do that. Usually I use this area for my audio and any video clips with audio, and then I'll put extra audio below it and I'll put extra video above it. But for this particular case, I did not do that. And the reason I didn't do that, let me resize this just a little bit because it needs to be shrunken down. He went a little long. The reason I didn't do that is because in this particular case, this clip is the entire story. This clip here is going to be 10 seconds long, and I know that for a fact, and I know it's going to have the logo in it, and it's going to have all the information, and it's never going to change. And the audio has to match exactly what this is. Okay, there's a phone number I need to put in here real quick. It is 800-745-3000. So what I'm going to do now, I've got the phone number. I'm going to drop the baseline down to the bottom. So the phone number is as low as I can go into my mat here. Right there. And the drop zone, we will shrink it down just a bit and lift it up. Wrong one. I need pan. All right, that'll do it. So that's the final thing. Let's go ahead and render it. Okay, I'm going to move my events over to the other display real quick. So we have this bigger. Okay, this is what this thing looks like.
Este segmento es traído por el Festival Internacional de Mariachi en Planet Hollywood, con Vicente Fernández Jr., Ángeles Ochoa y los mejores mariachis del mundo. Informes en el teléfono en pantalla. Este segmento es traído por el Festival Internacional de Mariachi en Planet Hollywood, con Vicente Fernández.
Okay, so you see that animation right there? It looks pretty good. And that's what I wanted to go with. So in order to do that, I had to, rather than taking the video from here, rather than dropping it down here, and rather than dropping it underneath and making it longer, I had to actually make a compound clip in order to make that animation go 100%. All right, and I normally don't use compound clips. It's not something that I'm accustomed to doing. I usually use my layering within Final Cut Pro, or I'll create something in Motion. So this was an unusual case for me. But I just wanted to show you guys how this is done and how you can drop a video into a drop zone and how to make it work for you exactly the way you want it to. All right. If you guys have any questions, if there's something you'd like me to go over or talk about or discuss or try, let me know and leave a comment or just send me a message. And also, if you like this video, if you learned something, leave a like, and I'd really appreciate that. All right. I'd like to thank you very much for watching.